and welcome to episode 141 of the Talk Nintendo podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Casey Gibson, and joining me this fine evening, the one, the only, Mr. Perry Burkum, a.k.a. the Cornhusker.
Hey, Casey Gibson from South Carolina. You're in South Carolina, right?
Yeah, it's funny. I was thinking about that the other day. I still feel like it's like, no, I'm a New Yorker, dang it. I'm just in a different location.
Yeah. I just meant you're at.
No, yeah. I'm down south in where it's hot.
So if I'm the Cornhusker, you're the Yank.
Don't call me the Yank.
Or what are you? What are you then? What do you want to be called?
I don't know. That's for you to come up, but don't call me a Yankee ever.
Well,
I'm a Metropolitan, if anything.
Is the Met stand for Metropolitan?
Yeah, the Metropolitans. Technically.
What's a Metropolitan?
Like the metropolitan area, you know?
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So the Mets is like a big group of metropolitans?
Yeah, we're just a bunch of metropolitans.
Is that what that's... Yeah,
I think
I've always wondered that.
Yeah, I think maybe that's what it was a long while back, you know? Like, it's probably officially the Mets now, but, like, you'll hear people refer to, like, oh, the Metropolitans.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Well, we have quite the packed
You call me
show.
the Met.
I'll call you the Met himself. So we have an amazingly packed show, and we're going to start off the show by announcing something that's really exciting that's happening on NWR and is a big part of Talk Nintendo as well.
What's that, Perry?
I'm glad you asked, Casey. Me and Casey and I, if we're
being grammatically correct.
Yes,
which we are
the new, more or less, Patreon managers of the NWR Patreon. And what that means is that we are revamping the whole Patreon.
Yes, sir. And there's going to be plenty of Talk Nintendo goodness baked into it.
Exactly. So what's going on is we're stripping down everything to 4 tiers. There's a $1 tier, $5 tier, $10, and a $35. The $1 tier, it gets you. We're calling it the supporter tier, and that gets you all of the exclusive Patreon podcasts that I'm going to tell you about right now.
Best bang for your buck, literally.
This is the best bang for your buck. It really is. For $1, you're going to get one exclusive Talk Nintendo podcast every month, one exclusive radio-free Nintendo podcast every month. How sweet is that? RFN is coming in, and you will be getting every 2 months the Patreon Plays podcast, which is like a retroactive where we all get to play an old game, kind of like an I Demand You. It's kind of a We Demand We.
I should say it doesn't necessarily always have to be an old game. Like we just recently played through Cuphead. True. Essentially, it's something I've been doing over on Patreon for a while now. Yeah, we take suggestions from everyone, and then we boil it down to 4 potential games, and we do a vote, and then the winner is the winner, and we play that, and we talk about it in our Discord, and then we come together and do a podcast on it. Now, if you're at the $5 tier or above, you actually have the opportunity to join in on the podcast, and then, you know, that's super cool, obviously.
Yeah, I was going to segue very cleverly into the $5 one, but you just kind of ruined that.
Yep, I jumped well, maybe if you had gotten it right.
Yeah, that's right. At the $5, the contributor tier is what we're calling it. The $5 tier gets you access to actually be on a podcast with us, on the Patreon Plays podcast, and play along with us. And, of course, you get to access to our Discord servers on any tier. So that's really fun. So you get 3 podcasts off the bat. Now, we'll talk about the possibility of more later. At the $10 tier, we're calling that our producer tier. That is where you are actually going to get a shout out every month on the Talk Nintendo podcast on this very show right now. Every month. Isn't that crazy? And we're going to start that next week because the official launch is coming on the 1st of June, a few days after this posts. And you're going to get a shout out with your name on the podcast, and you can suggest topics for our Patreon exclusive shows in the servers and stuff, in the Discord and stuff. And then last but not least, we have at $35 for all you crazy people that are loaded. We have the super producer tier. Get it? Because it's, like
Super Nintendo.
Get it? Do you get it, Casey? It's like
I did, yes.
Yeah, anyway. Super producer. That means that you get to actually officially sponsor a video on NWR TV every month. And that means at the beginning of a video, you're going to have this video was sponsored by this amazing person, and then they're going to tell your name, your Twitter handle, whatever, Instagram, whatever you want on there. And you're going to get
the coolest part.
Yes, I'd say the coolest
arguably,
part.
But I would say so.
Very conceited. Yeah, in case you wouldn't say so. But you're going to get a customized jingle for you. You know, like this episode was brought to you by Estuardo. You know, like something like that. But it's, you know, something obviously not just me beatboxing into the mic. What do you mean?
Everyone's just you going like,
yeah. Like it's the same thing. Like it's literally
just like
the same
little
thing
different
with just
beeps
the name.
And boops. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's going to be really cool, highly produced, really cool. And you're going to be able to have it obviously for yourself to use for whatever you want. And that'll be a one-time thing, right? So
yeah,
if you wanted to just sponsor it for one month, then you would you
get to keep that jingle.
For
but for every success. What word am I looking for?
For every in succession, every
other month after that point,
every time
it would still use the same jingle, and you'd get a new video. But yeah, you wouldn't get a new jingle every time.
And you get the TMP shout out, and you can be in the Patreon Plays podcast, and you get access to all of the episodes.
Yeah,
all the Patreon exclusive episodes.
Now we got some goals too, Perry, don't we?
Yes, we do. Now I think before we get to the goals, let's talk about the rewards. The really cool rewards that are happening. You know, should we say that to the end?
Let's say that to the end, you know?
We'll say that till the end.
Yeah, the end here. So for goals-wise, right, we've got 4 goals set up here on that are viewable. We've got some more in the kitty, as you will. But, of course, we don't want to spoil them all, so it's going to be as we work our way up. Now, currently, at $200, our goal is a monthly game night, which will be taking over place over on Twitch, where we will get all of our patrons to come and play games with us, and we'll stream it live. Now, the good thing is that's already unlocked, so that one will be starting this month. Then at $300, we have the monthly stream night, where most likely Perry and I, but like there might be some other staffers who jump in as well. We'll stream games, and it could be retro themed, it could be new games, it could essentially be, you know, whatever patrons want to see being played, and we'll do that over on Twitch again. Now, personally, this is the coolest. These next two, these, like you said, sort of conceded, right? But these are Talk Nintendo exclusive ones. Now, Talk Nintendo Live at $400 will be a live show every Tuesday night over on Twitch. Again, a lot of Twitch stuff going on.
We've been asked many times to have a live video show. They say that people just want to see us.
They want to see these mugs.
And after we call them a big bunch of perverts, we say, okay.
Well, give us $400.
But then we have to put our clothes on. That's what is my answer.
Well, only a shirt. You can do without pants. But yeah, so essentially Talk Nintendo Live will be a half hour to an hour, probably, you know, depending on how it goes. But I think the idea would be give or take a half hour live on Twitch. And it's going to be sort of like a variety show. So our one sort of example would be a debate-style show where it will be a debate, right? 2 sides, but it won't necessarily be ones that you are in favor for. So my example is Mario versus Sonic. Which is the better mascot? Now, of course, we all know Mario blows that stupid blue rat out of the water.
Yeah, no, agreed.
But
Sonic is the Pepsi of mascots.
Well,
continue.
Let's not go too far. Now, someone's going to have to debate for that, so it'll be interesting, you know, like it's aimed around having fun, right? And then, of course, like we could have, you know, some sort of classic Talk Nintendo challenge segments thrown in there, especially with Mario Maker 2 upcoming. And it's going to be super fun.
Dude, it's going to be so much fun.
And then finally,
it'll be all around good time every week.
Yep. And now finally, at the $500 goal would be a brand new podcast with Talk Nintendo cross the well, I guess not Thirsty Mage, but it would be planned with David Lloyd, and it would be an exclusive podcast for Patreon.
A brand new podcast.
Yep. So essentially, it would be another monthly podcast, and it would just at $1, it would just be another exclusive podcast you'd be getting for $1 over on NWR.
Exactly.
So
and
very
here's
exciting.
the thing. Once we get to once we pass our $300, which is very, very close, then we will we'll give more info about the new podcast, and we'll introduce more stretch goals. And we have one lined up that's after this one that's amazing. That's really, really fun. I'm really excited to get it going.
As a teaser, as I say, we could tease it, right? We've had a segment with a guest on this podcast before.
Oh, we're giving a lot away right now.
Just a teaser.
That's all we're teasing.
That's all I'm teasing. And then, our last thing before we, move on to what we've been playing is cool lifetime and annual goals. So essentially, if you eclipse $100 lifetime donated to NWR, and like you said, that could be I've given $5 for X amount of time, or I've given 10
for 20 months.
Yeah, whatever it pans out to be. But if you hit $100 lifetime, you will be getting an exclusive NWR hat, and that is we're doing that retroactively. So if you already have donated over $100, well, guess what? You're going to be getting an exclusive NWR hat in the mail.
Heck yeah.
No further pledges necessary. Now we're also going to be doing $100 annually, and you will get the exclusive NWR t-shirt for that year. So of course that will change every single year. There'll be exclusive t-shirts, and it's just sort of an extra bonus if you're already pledging that much to the site and everything. We just want to have a little extra bonus, like, hey, we really appreciate what you're doing for us, and we want to send you this cool exclusive t-shirt. So
exactly,
very cool and exciting stuff. Like I said, a lot of Talk Nintendo stuff will be baked into the Patreon. So it would be a way of supporting us and the site through the single Patreon page. And yeah,
exactly. Of course, everything is going to remain the same on our feed. You're going to get the same amount of content, and this is really just for people who want to help support us, and then get some more of
us in your ears.
Content for them. So please think about supporting us on Patreon. We'll have a link in the description, of course. And like I said, honestly, if everyone gave $1, then the show would greatly benefit. And so, yeah, thank you so much for listening, and we're going to get right into what we've been playing.
Yep, and we are going to start off with some quick bites.
Quick bites.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Now, I'm going to make these quick. These are going to be legitimately quick bites. I beat Cuphead. I put a bow on her. And I must say, the game definitely grew on me as I continued to play. Run and gun levels.
So you beat Cuphead?
Yep. Run and gun levels, not my favorite. Bosses, definitely fun. Were there some frustrating ones? On occasion. But nothing too overly the top difficult. It is definitely a tough game. But, I was able to get through it. And like I said, I definitely enjoyed it a lot more by the time it was all over than when I initially started. Continuing along, Final Fantasy XII. I was on like a 2.5-week hiatus because of just life and reviews and videos and whatnot. So I'm happy to get back into that. Really just, I gotta say, the voice acting in this game is just superb. It really is. Like, I feel like more often than not in video games, you sort of get to the point where it's just like, okay, the voice acting was, passable, That's sort of like okay, nice job. But really, they did a nice job with this. I was very surprised, and
yeah,
it's a pretty old game. Like, I mean, I know this is the remake version of it, but even for when it came out in 2006, and what's that, 13 years ago, it's hard to believe that they were doing such quality work back then with, the cutscenes and the visuals, the voice acting and whatnot. And then finally, on my quick bites here, Splatoon 2. We played a little Splatoon this weekend. Dusted it off for the first time in a real long time. I can't remember the last time we played that.
It's been like 8 months.
Yeah, I don't...
Probably. It's been a long time.
Maybe even more. I don't know, man. It has definitely been a long time, but we dusted it off. We had some peeps come on and join us, and yeah, man, quality game. Very, very fun to get into. It's one of those games, too, where despite not playing it for a long while,
dude,
it's like nice to just get right back into it, you know?
Game. Yeah, it's like one of the best games of all time. I love Splatoon 2.
Well, I certainly wouldn't go that far.
Oh, I definitely would. The gameplay is unmatched.
I feel like I should... This is where I should go back to that episode where you're just like, I hate
Please
Splatoon 2.
I never said I hate the actual gameplay.
I know. But it was just so funny because you were so angry.
I just wanted to be over the top so that you could tell me about it every time I gushed about the game in the future.
Mm-hmm. Well, you did nice. You did
Thanks.
Good, kid.
Yeah, man, Splatoon 2, that was so much fun playing with Lemonade and Estuardo and Aaron. That was so much fun, although we could not find one more person.
Yeah.
We had to have 2v2 with one spectating the whole time.
We tapped out all of our resources.
Yeah, but it was really, really, really fun, so I look forward to playing some more of that.
Boom. Well, there are my quick bites, Perry. So I believe it is time for the entrée.
Oh, yes. There has been this game that has... I saw it when we were in PAX. It was pretty big there. I've seen screenshots of this all over, and it looks awesome, and I've always been interested in it. And that game is Gato Roboto. All right. Now, this game is coming out in a couple days. I think this comes out the day that this posts. What this game is... So Gato Roboto, obviously Roboto is a robot, and Gato, I believe, is a cat.
You almost said Roboto is a cat. In this case, yes, it is.
Thank you for catching me on that. Yeah, and so it's cat robot. That's what we got here. Now, what this game is it is like Minute, the game Minute. It's only black and white. It's two colors. It's not black and white like with grays. It's just two colors. I love that art style, by the way. I really love it. I love that. I mean, I know that sure, we could probably throw around stuff now where it's probably getting to the gimmicky side, right? I mean, that idea of whatever, because it's been done a lot now. But I stand by this where if you go back and watch black and white movies, there's some really good ones, obviously, and when you see some of them, like, you watch them and they're just gorgeous. And I love black and white because a lot of times because there's no color, it almost relaxes your eyes in a way where even though the picture is really good, but having just a black and white is actually really nice and easy on my eyes, and it translates to this here too. There's something about it I really love. Really simple,
easy on your old peepers.
I think it's easy on the peepers. Yeah. Exactly. So it's a game that doesn't really totally overstimulate your eyes. So if you play it right before bed, that you can't get to bed, which like Splatoon 2, that is that game. I always play it before I went to bed.
Oozing with your eyes are
so much color, splatting with color. But this one I could play. And anyway, getting to what it is, they're touting it as a Meowtroid.
Yeah.
So get it?
That's amazing.
It's cat. Yeah. So it's definitely a Metroid-like game. It is very, very similar to Metroid, and I would say it's like Zeo Drifter, and it is also like a little bit like Blaster Master. A little bit. And I made a realization as I was playing. So obviously, I mean, it is kind of stripped to the bone Metroid. I mean, it is like nothing else. You go around, you get upgrades, you unlock new parts of the area, you unlock new sections, funny dialogue, great boss battles. Just everything is just handled simply and very well. They do everything. They don't mess around. They have great little art style. Everything's great. But one of the hooks is that you are a cat. Actually, you crash on this planet, and then the astronaut guy, the commander guy, whatever, the soldier, he's stuck, so he can't do anything. So you have to go onto the planet and find help. You know, I mean, like, so the idea is like you play as the cat that gets out. And then you find, you know, the Gato Roboto, the suit. You find, I don't think that's what it's called. But you find the suit.
Gato Roboto.
Yeah, I mean, it is the cat robot, I guess. You find that, and so you can, it's kind of like Blaster Master Zero in that same way, Blaster Master, I should say, where you can get out of your robot suit anytime and run around as a cat.
Just
and you have actually
cat it around.
Yeah, it's really cool because with the suit, obviously, you have, like, you know, health points. So if you get hit, obviously, you won't die unless you get all your hit points. But with a cat, it's a one-hit death, so you got to be careful.
Just like Jason, right?
The cat can climb up walls.
Well, no, Jason's got a little life bar, doesn't he? I'm thinking of when he jumps out and then...
When he jumps off, yeah.
And then he just is the weakest human being alive.
Exactly. You're right. He's very precious, remember? Precious Jason. Precious Gato.
PJ?
I need to know what precious is in Spanish. We need to text Eduardo. So... you can get out of and be a cat, and you can climb up walls, like literally climb up any wall. So it's like really cool. But the thing is they use that very cleverly, because some sections it's like, yeah, you can get to the sections, but you can't do anything because you'll need the suit to shoot at the door to get through, you know. But then some are very clever, and you go through and, like, you know, the cat can swim in water, but the robot can't for some reason, and, you know.
Well, it sinks. It's too heavy. It's not.
Well, there you go. It's electronic.
It's not
can't
buoyant.
Be in the water.
And precious in Spanish is precioso. Precioso. There you go.
Precioso.
Precioso.
Precioso Gato. There you go.
Mr. No, well, it's Jason.
Jason. But anyway, Gato Precioso. There you go. That makes more sense, right? So yeah, it's a very straightforward game. I'm really digging it. I think it's fun. It's satisfying. The sounds and the OST is fantastic. You know, it's just, if anything I would say against it is that it's just nothing out of the. There's nothing.
Doesn't bring anything new to the table. Nothing
really. I mean, so far, I've only played a good chunk of it, because I don't think it's really that long.
Well, how many? I was going to say, how many games have you played where you get to be a cat in a robot suit?
Not that many.
It's something new to the table, Perry.
Not that many.
You need to look optimistically.
Exactly. No, it's great. I mean, honestly, like I said, like everything it does well. But the thing is the only thing I can knock it against is that we've seen it before. Like, we've seen this game before. It's, you know, and I guess which is a shame, but that still doesn't mean that it's not worth playing, and that it's really, really good. I mean, it's definitely worth playing. And the cool thing is I think it's $7 or $8.
Well, yeah, it depends if you appreciate that style of game.
If you like Metroid-like games, then get this game, because this is a Metroid game.
Yeah, I played a tiny little bit at PAX myself, and I'm not really into Metroidvanias too much. But yeah, dig the art style, like you said, the very minimalistic.
Oh yeah.
And like they do a lot with a little, right? Is sort of what they do visually. And yeah, I mean, it definitely felt and played like a Metroidvania that you've been there before. It's sort of comfort food, right? If you were into Metroidvanias, this is probably like a nice warm piece of pumpkin pie, you know?
Exactly. It's a piece of cat pie.
Which is funny. I'm not really a pumpkin pie man. I was going to say a piece, like a bowl of chicken pot pie, but then I said a piece, and then I just had to roll with it.
Gotcha.
And that's how we landed on pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie with some freshly whipped cream.
Oh, no thank you. No thank you. You know what? Oh, so there's this cafe.
Dude, you poor man.
That is sort of by us, and oh my goodness, I got the meanest blueberry crumble.
Oh, man.
I have dreams about crumble. That blueberry crumble, baby. Oh, with a nice cup of joe. Ooh-wee. Man, and the best thing is, it's sort of like a bar, I guess. Like, they serve alcohol and stuff. So I'm pretty sure they're open late. We should just stop doing this podcast, and I should just go get some crumble.
Okay.
See ya.
See ya. No, yeah, I would recommend if you love Metroid likes. I would get it.
A Metroid like.
And if you if you haven't played a lot of them, this is a really, really good one. From what I've played, solid, fun, good stuff. So check out Gato Roboto on the eShop today.
Boom, baby.
Okay. Boom, baby. So you have this is an entree here, or is this dessert?
I think this is the dessert. Desserts. I think this is the dessert.
All right.
You know why?
What do we got? No.
Because we've got a mystery history.
Mystery history.
I got you dog.
Stink dog.
Yep.
You're so good at that.
Well,
you're like Jill. You can lie very well.
All it took was a couple of words in a document, and I threw you off the case.
A couple of words in a document.
Yeah, to pull the curtain back. Yeah, in our show notes here, I put Yoshi's Crafted World, and I could already tell Perry was like, "Ugh, I don't want to talk about this game anymore."
No, I was, and I mentioned that before, and you're like, "Well, yeah, I put some time into it."
Yeah, man, I went back, put in the Nope, no, I did not. Instead, I've got a good old-fashioned mystery history for you. So
I love mystery history, baby.
Again, for those who are uninitiated, would that be the word? For those who don't know, let's go with that one. For those who don't know what mystery history is, I have been playing a game, and now Perry needs to guess which game I've been playing. He's got 15 questions to figure it out, and after 5, 10, and the 15th question, I've got a nice little hint that sort of, tells a little bit about the game while also giving him a little hint to what it might be. It could be any game from the NES up to the Wii U, excluding the 3DS, although I almost feel like we're almost within territory where the 3DS could be on that list, but we're not there yet.
That's going to be an exciting day because there's a lot of 3DS games that I want to play for mystery history.
Yeah, it's so funny.
I'm literally like, okay, I'm not going to play that until that's on the table.
Yeah, a couple months ago.
This is affecting my life, Casey.
I started playing Link Between Worlds, and then I was like, yeah, perfect, a mystery. And I was like, dang it, it's a 3DS game. But anyway, yes, so pretty much anything from the NES up to the Wii U, excluding the 3DS, is on the table. And, Perry, without further ado, why don't you go?
All right. Question number 1.
It's bad when you're stumbling on the first question.
Thank you for your commentary. Was this game on a home console?
Yes, it was.
All right. So we got NES, Super NES, 64, GameCube, Wii U. Was this game on a disc?
No, it was not.
All right. So we've narrowed it down to the 64, SNES, NES. What's this game? This one's how can I do this one? It's kind of hard to be able to knock. Was this game? This is where you just take a chance. You just like go for it.
Is this Yoshi's Crafted World?
Yeah. Is this on the Super Nintendo?
Why, yes, it is.
Yes. See, I was like, what games would like what system would he be playing right now? I was like, he wouldn't be playing NES, and I don't think he'd be playing 64. I don't know why. Maybe, even though he probably didn't play this on the actual system. Who knows?
Well, I actually do have. It is one of my few systems that I do have hooked up. I shouldn't say hooked up at all times, but I have my SNES and my GameCube on my desk right by the TV there, so they are easy access consoles. Mm-hmm. But I digress.
Okay. So this is question number 4 then, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you marking these, by the way?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Super Nintendo game. Is this published by Nintendo?
I believe so. Let me do the old double check.
Oh, I don't trust you. I've learned I've learned.
Yes.
You're putting on a show right now. Oh, you're totally putting on a show. I don't know. It's Super Mario Kart, Casey. You know.
Is that a guess?
No, it's not a guess. Should it be a guess?
It could be.
Nah. Okay, so question number 5. It's published by Nintendo, Super Nintendo game. Does it have a popular Nintendo mascot in it?
Yes.
All right. Give me my hint, baby.
All right. First hint we have up here. This franchise saw a spin-off 3D animated series featuring 40 episodes.
That's quite the hint, Case. Quite the hint indeed.
Well, there you go.
So question number 6. Super Nintendo game, popular Nintendo mascot. Does this happen to be a big ol' ape?
The game is the game an ape? The game is not an ape, no.
No, is a big ol' ape featured in it?
Possibly.
Yeah, that could be my question number 7.
Yeah, that's number 7 right there.
Yeah. So yes, it is, right? All right, so now I got to think.
Well, you've got
1, 2, or 3.
You've got 8 guesses and
okay. But I want to guess it on right now. So which one would you be playing? I mean, I know you love 2 the best. So would you be playing that through again? Or would you be going through the first one? Or maybe, just maybe, you're playing through the Dixie Kong Quest, the 3rd one, with Kiddy Kong.
Kitty is a big old ape.
That's true. That's true. Are you playing Donkey Kong Country 3?
No.
Okay. Is it... Now here's the real question, okay?
Well, you should have known. I've played 3 the most recent. Remember? I feel like I've talked about that not too long ago.
Yeah, we did talk about that in the podcast.
So, you screwed up.
Well, I'm kind of taking it, taking my chances here. Is it the original Donkey Kong Country?
Yes, it is.
Woo!
Boom. Yeah, I should have. Now, I wonder if
that was a really, really good hint.
If my hint was this game saw a spin-off 3D animation, would that have swayed? Was the franchise what sold you? Franchise.
No, it was the 3D.
All right, so you knew about that.
Like what other super? Well, yeah, of course.
Well, I don't know. It's sort of a little known, I mean, I guess you're a big Jimmy bot, so maybe you would know.
Yeah, I knew. I'm sorry.
You big jerk.
Dude, one of my favorite games of all time, man. Donkey Kong Country. I love this game. It's my favorite one of the trilogy.
And did you know that there's actually a book and a manga as well?
A manga?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, there was the 40 episode 3D animated series, a chapter book adaptation, manga adaptations in Mario related publications such as Kodasha's Super Mario manga and Super Mario Kun, and many toys and other merchandise. Now, what's cool is, so this came out on November 21st, 1994. You want to hear my other hints here? Maybe I should have saved. Maybe the second hint should have been the first one. The port of this game was coded from scratch due to some of the floppies containing original graphic assets were lost. To remedy the problem, team members ripped the sprites using an emulator.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I kind of vaguely remember that.
So that was for the Game Boy Advance port.
Gotcha. Interesting. That's funny.
Yeah, and they said most of the backgrounds were redone from the ground up to fit the Game Boy Advance's screen resolution, scale, and color palette. My last hint was this game was a massive success and sold over 9 million copies, making it the 3rd best-selling game on the console.
What a great game, man.
Yeah, so...
Neil hates on this game, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, that's because he's just a big, dumb idiot.
Yeah.
No,
Come on,
I
Neil.
joke. But yeah, no, it's, you know what it is?
No, I mean, how can you hate this? It's such a great game.
I think when he compares it to Mario, right? Mario's platforming is super crisp, right? Like, it's just...
Oh, yeah.
This is very more loosey-goosey. You get, like, the nice rolls. Yeah. You hit an enemy, and that roll keeps on going. You hit a couple enemies, you're just, like, all the way across the screen. Oh, baby.
You see that O letter over the pit? And you're like,
and you got
the heck am I
the roll and jump, baby. The roll and jump.
You know, you got to defeat physics.
Yeah. But who cares about physics? Now, what's cool is this game's notable for its pre-rendered 3D CGI models converted into sprites, and that sort of went on to be like a new art style, right? They popularized it. Some other cool little tidbits we've got here. It had a competitive cartridge. You know about this bad boy?
No.
So, a specialized competitive variant featuring an assortment of random levels and a point counter was manufactured for use in various video game tournaments held throughout 1995. After that, a few existing cartridges were sold in Nintendo Power, and due to its rarity, it's a very big collector's item now.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know how much it runs now, but I definitely know it was... she cost a pretty penny. And what's also cool, I was reading about the development of this, right? So a team of developers went to the nearby zoo to observe movements of real gorillas, but they found that it would not be suited for the fast-paced platformer. Yes. So I guess they said it's actually more akin to horse movements.
Yeah.
Before arriving, the current animations based loosely on the movement of horses. So, just funny little tidbits. Like,
so Donkey Kong actually is a donkey.
Yeah. Well, there you have it, baby.
I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah. So Donkey Kong, man, it is a fun game, and it's funny. In the beginning, I was just steamrolling through these levels, and I was like, man, this game's a lot easier than I remember. But then all of a sudden you get up to like that snow world, you know, and it's like, okay, now all of a sudden you're slipping a little bit, you get a little slippy slidey, and it starts to ramp up. Yeah,
you jump on those. Yeah. I was thinking of the snakes, like and like the
my favorite, the chompers. It's just like
yes,
and then all of a sudden you land on them and they're like, ow.
Yeah.
Caitlin,
such a wacky game.
Caitlin was watching and she was dying like when they were just like, oh, like
ow.
Yeah, it's like just like what is going on right now. But yeah, pretty darn funny game. But yeah, really fun game. The bosses are fun, and I love the movement. You know, I love loosey goosey. I love the rolls and sort of the little subtle differences between Donkey and Diddy. You know that. Who do you prefer to play with?
Donkey Kong, I think. Yeah.
See, I'm a Diddy man.
I like Donkey Kong because I just like how he can jump on the big guys.
Oh yeah, he's got less restrictions than that puny little weakling.
Exactly.
But yeah.
But I like them both.
Yeah, I almost am always snagging up that Diddy Kong when I can, you know.
Totally.
But yeah.
Nice. Good choice. Are you sure we haven't done Donkey Kong Country on Mystery History before? We might have.
I was thinking about that earlier. I know I haven't.
I don't think I have.
But I was like, we should probably mark it down. But I tell you what, you probably didn't do all the background research I did. So, and toot my own horn there. Yeah, you didn't talk about the Donkey Zoo.
No, I didn't.
Yep. So they have.
But I specifically remember reading that on Wikipedia. So. Maybe I did.
Maybe. Well, there you have it. Yeah, we will not be talking about Yoshi's Crafted World, unfortunately, but we did get a mystery history and another one in the books for Perry, the big old perp.
Woo! That's right. And that means that it's time for us to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to have our new eShop Roundup with the giveaway and with our picks of the week. I can't wait.
Bunch of news. So, it's Hardy, baby.
And news.
It's pre-E3 hardiness. Alrighty, we are back, and it is that time once again for the old new for the old new eShop Roundup XLLL 3DS.
For the old
Yeah.
That's so funny. Yes, the new eShop Roundup.
The new eShop Roundup. eHaw.
Oh man, that's so funny. Well,
yes.
What better way to kick off the roundup than by announcing our winner? Woo! And Perry, I believe you have the winner's name right here, don't you?
Enrique Herrera. He is our winner at Bam Bam Ricky.
Bam Bam Ricky. I like it.
Yeah, he has won our Chicken Rider giveaway. So if you want to win a game, we give away a game every single week on the Talking to No podcast.
Enrique the Chicken Rider.
I got to say, because we're generous people, right? I mean, I don't know any other podcast that gives a game
I'm sure
away every week.
There might be a podcast out there.
Oh, there's probably like 50 million, but I just don't know them.
Well,
but we have a new one this week.
Yes,
I mean,
we
obviously, because it's a week, right? And I can't wait to tell you about this one, because this is for little friends, dogs, and cats. If you love Nintendogs, you might love this game. So check out, you're going to want to retweet our episode post on Twitter.
And it's right there in the description if you're listening to this on your iPhone.
You can literally
or
like tap it and
Android
hit retweet,
or whatever.
Just like right there. It's right there, and then you'll be like one out of like 50 people probably, and you might win this game.
And we're on
which is
Spotify.
$50.
Boom, baby.
And we're on Spotify. There you go.
Yeah, you can find that link probably right in the description on Spotify as well. But now that is enough of that giveaway business, right? We're doing it every week.
Yeah, we are.
But what we're also doing every week is the old
Picks of the Week.
It's the picks of the week, baby.
Give me them picks.
And we're going to do our runners-up. And so, Casey, what's your runner-up?
Runner-up, we've got Gunlord X for $9.99. This Euro-style platformer with emphasis on exploring huge worlds and blasting off enemies. This game was originally released in 2012, and it's got 11 stages, over 60 unique enemy types, and it's nice pixel graphics, and looks like a cool little platform.
Amazing.
It sort of looks, at a quick glance, sort of like a Contra-style game, right?
Totally, yeah.
So, yeah, it looks really cool, and that is the old runner-up.
And that brings me to my runner-up. Did you know that? Which happens to be Wonder Boy Returns Remix for $14.99. Now, this is so weird, right? Now, Wonder Boy is weird because it's just, what a weird thing on Switch. Like, you had Wonder Boy, the Dragon's Trap, the remake of, like, the third game. Then you had Monster Boy, which was, like, made by some of the people, but they couldn't have the name, but it is a Wonder Boy game, and, you know, it's kind of a Metroidvania type game.
It's too confusing.
And then, and they're completely different styles. And then there comes this one, and you see Wonder Boy Returns Remix, and you see it, and it looks like Adventure Island, which is what it reminds me of. Like you run through, you have control, but you just kind of run through levels, and the art style is really weird. Like, it's just
very weird.
It's super bizarre because it's like you think none of these games are connected, and like, you know, it's like caveman themed, and it's just, but it has some of the same enemies that I've seen from a Wonder Boy the Dragon's Trap. It's just interesting, right? Completely different kind of gameplay. I don't know if it's any good. I've read some good reviews. I've read some bad reviews. Check out our review on Nintendo World Report. Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's so funny because these were games I was super interested in originally when, you know, in the beginning of the Switch's life, right? We saw it at PAX. It looked really great. Not this one. I think it was Monster Boy. Again, I don't know. Too confusing.
Monster Boy.
And they've just totally fallen to the wayside with all these other games, and it's a shame because the one that you could switch between the old and new visuals looked really cool.
Dude, it's amazing.
But it's just crazy how like I said, that would have, if that came out in the Wii U, we would have been like, Game of the Year material, you know?
Oh yeah.
And then now on the Switch, it's just like, oh man. But yeah, moving on to our pick of the week. Pick of the week. On
the old new eShop.
The old new eShop, you get your pick of the week, baby. Yeah, you're going to have to make a new jingle jangle. We've got Skelly Celeste.
Yeah,
which is sort of a strange...
rad.
That second word is strange to say. It is $9.99, but it is on sale for $7.99 until June 13th. This is a ScoreTac / run and gun-a-thon with procedurally generated gauntlets of hell spawn and bosses. Again, another pixel art game, right? Looks really cool. I mean, like, one of the screenshots is a big old skull, and you're sort of running around, and yeah, it definitely looks interesting.
Yeah, super chunky pixel art.
Yeah, I like that. I like the
it's
chunk.
Very neat.
Give me the chunk. And yeah, what's
That's
cool
what I'm here
is
for you, baby.
$7.99 on sale, like I said, and looks rad, man. And who doesn't love a game that is a ScoreTac / run and gun? Boom.
I don't know. Hitler?
I like it. Well, maybe. I don't know.
But he probably
Shirk.
even liked it too. Anyway. My pick of the week is Brothers. A Tale of Two Sons. Not A Tale of Tucson. A Tale of Two Sons.
It would be interesting if they were in Tucson, Arizona.
And it also would be interesting if the brothers' Tale of Two Sons, if they weren't actually brothers, they were just two sons of,
Two sons of brothers?
So
they were cousins?
Like A Tale of Two Sons. It's like, well, of course they're two sons. They're brothers. You know what I mean? That's another name. I mean, you could call it Two Sons, A Tale of Brothers. You know what I mean?
Brothers, a tale.
Anyway.
A son of tales.
Anyway, it's $14.99. Check out our review on NW Poor. Alexander.
NW Poor?
He what?
You said, sounded like you said NW Poor.
Did I say that?
We're like...
NW
that or maybe you said like Nintendo World Poor.
NW Report.
I don't know. I think you said NW Poor.
Well, people can hit that 15 seconds back and listen to it. At Nintendo World Report, at NW Report. I probably said that. Check out our review by Xander. It's really good. Check it out on Nintendo World R Report TV or
on the website.
Check it out on YouTube also. It looks really neat.
You're really neat. Not.
Thanks, buddy.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, well, getting a little wacky here. So let's
wacky tobacco.
Let's take off and go right to the news block.
News Talk with Casey Gibson.
We've got some Mario Maker news. Mario Maker 2 news, that is. Some bad news, unfortunately. Wii U levels cannot be transferred to Super Mario Maker 2. Neither,
that's obvious.
Neither can the 3DS levels. Nintendo rep said that the extensive list of new items and features were a major reason why the two games are incompatible with one another. Of course. I think it makes sense, but I feel like we talked about this where you were sort of hoping that there would be like an outside chance, like maybe there'd be a way.
I mean, they also don't have the amiibo in this new game too. It's just, not everything's.
This
they don't
game
have everything.
Sucks.
Yeah, well, I could say that for the next bullet point, which is something we brought up last week.
Yep. Yeah. Why don't you hit up this bully?
Yeah. Well, this is a funny story, actually.
It's just a funny little story.
I gotta make a jingle for that. I got to. It's so funny. Oh my goodness. Okay.
It's just a funny little story.
It's happening.
About a tale of two brothers.
Yeah. So Jill and I were watching the Direct, the Super Mario Maker 2 Direct. And at the end of it, Jill's like, so you can't play online with your friends? And I was like, yeah, you can. Like, they said that, like, that you could. She's like, no, I don't think so. And I'm like, Jill, yes, they did. And I rewinded it. And I go, oh, my goodness, they specifically did not say that. And I was like, they even showed, like, they even went out of their way to say that, like, to play with friends, you have to play locally. And I was like, oh, my goodness, you can't play online with friends. So we reached out to Nintendo. Neil did. And, yeah, you can't. It's a fish. You can't play online cooperatively with friends. You can still share your levels, but you can't play co-op or competitively with you only can play with randoms.
That means you and I, our dreams of playing together, squashed.
And they give the stupidest reason. They said because with the global leaderboards, the matchmaking for competitive play would be compromised if you would play it with friends.
Well then, Perry, how come it's not allowed to play co-op then if there's no leaderboards?
Yeah, well, how come that... Well, it's so stupid because you can play co-op. Like, you can play co-op, but you have to be local. So that's not the reason. I mean, obviously...
Well, the global leaderboards are for competitive play, which, like, if you want to say that, right, is like, whatever. But yeah, like, for the co-op, it's just for funsies, you know, if there's no leaderboards.
Just don't make it apply to the leaderboards. It's not... That's a silly, dumb... That's like when they said, why isn't NES Remix on the 3DS? And they said, because it can't handle it. Instead of just saying, well, we just don't really want to do that right now. They say, because the 3DS can't handle it. And then, like, 6 months later, it comes out in the 3DS. It's just annoying. It's like, and of course, this is going to be... It's going to be an update.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, maybe we could hold out hope.
It better be. I think if we make enough noise, which there was a lot of backlash. I mean, there's been a lot online. I mean,
yeah, I know people are not happy about it, so maybe it is something that
because
Nintendo
everyone assumed
can fix
it was. That's the thing is that they kind of sneaked it in there, right? Because everyone assumed you could, you know. And there are even like rumors going around like after we broke the news, they're like, "Oh no, like you can," and no, you can't. So it's like even when you say and the truth is out there, people are still like don't know because that's how much Nintendo's, you know, tricked everyone.
And just a reminder, you're paying $20 a year for this online.
I know. Man.
So weird. So weird. Hopefully it's something that they can address and fix relatively quickly. But yeah. One word.
Totally, man.
Asinine.
Lame. Yes. Asinine.
It's a great word.
Yeah, it is. Asinine.
Well, you're asinine. Now, moving on to our next bit of news, some exciting news, I would say, is 2 Pokemon presentations have been announced. The first took place literally as we're recording this, and I'm going to have a little update on all that in just a second.
Yeah.
And by a little update, a bunch of update. But I would say at least... What seemed to be more importantly before we got these bits tonight, but June 5th, that is a week from Wednesday, well, this Wednesday. If you're listening to this at any point after it's been posted, it is the next Wednesday, and if you're listening to this way after that, well, I'm sorry. June 5th at 9 a.m. Eastern Time with roughly 15 minutes of new information on Sword and Shield, so that will be exciting. We are going to... That's the day after we normally record. However, we already have a plan that Mr. Alex Kulafi will be joining us for a little breakdown of that. Right. So you will hear us discuss that direct next week on episode 142. But now, talking about this business strategy meeting, which, again, like I said, it's June 28th at 9 p.m., which is, like I said, about about an hour ago. In previous meetings...
28th.
Yeah.
June 28th.
Yeah, May 28th, that's what I meant. Previous meetings have announced Pokemon Go and Pokemon Let's Go, so there was some speculation we'd be getting some news, and some news is what we got.
We got news.
We're going to do it in order as they did it. They said 4 announcements, right? Detective Pikachu is about to break out of the 3DS. The sequel to the 2018 3DS game was announced for the Switch. At the strategy meeting. No release date was given, but the game will feature a different ending than the recent Hollywood movie. So
it's not a sequel?
I don't know.
I think I read that it was a sequel. A new entry in the Detective Pikachu video game series. That's what they said.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know if the first game sort of followed the stories.
Wait, were they saying it has a different thing from the movie or from the first game?
Yeah, from the movie.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Well, so it's not so it's not necessarily like a tie-in to the movie or like, you know what I mean, yeah, playing out the stories from the movie and game. So it seems to be its own entry. I'd say pretty cool. That's cool news. I thought about picking up Detective Pikachu for the 3DS, never got around to it, so I will definitely keep an eye out on this coming out to the Switch. Yeah. Now we start to get into some weird news. Pokemon Home announced. Now, actually, I should say this isn't the weird news. The next one is. Pokemon Home announced early 2020 release. Essentially, it seems like this will be the new Pokemon Bank. Which is where you could sort of bring your Pokemon from different games, to different games. So the Pokemon Company has announced that Pokemon Home will be available in early 2020. Home will utilize Pokemon Bank on 3DS, as well as connecting to Pokemon Go, the Let's Go games, and Sword and Shield to begin. Online trading will be available in-game, both in short range and globally. So it seems like the evolution of Pokemon Bank, right, will be Pokemon Home.
Interesting. Makes sense. Can you connect them? Sorry, I didn't hear. Did you say you could connect them?
What do you mean connect them?
Bank to Home.
Oh, I believe so. Let's see. Home will utilize Pokemon Bank on 3DS. So yeah, I guess it essentially, I guess, can grab Pokemon from the bank, and then it'll be like the Home will be the new hub, is what it seems like. Is what I'm reading, right?
Gotcha. Yeah, I never understood Pokemon. To be honest, I've never kind of understood the transferring of Pokemon to other things, like transferring a Pokemon I caught, like that I have, to a new game. It seems weird to me because it's like, well, that's kind of the fun, is raising the Pokemon. So,
I guess it would be something along the line, like, obviously, if you transfer a level like 65 Pokemon to a brand new game, you wouldn't be able to use it anyway, because you need to get the badges to be able to use, certain level Pokemon.
Ah, that's right.
But I guess it would also just be something along the lines of, well, I've already leveled up an Alakazam, right? And I want to use that when I get to the end game, but I would rather raise a new Pokemon for the story, as I'm working my way there. So, so it's not necessarily,
cool.
It is what cool. I would imagine.
Like you're adding to your collection almost. It's kind of like you're like, well, I did a playthrough of this. See, that's really interesting to me. So you've completely swayed my opinion.
Boom.
Because that whole idea is like, you know what I mean? Because then like you could like play like the Pokemon game again, but do a different Pokemon.
Yeah. Well, that's
and
when
then keep raising them, but still have all of them.
Well, that's what, like, I feel like with Let's Go, when I played through it, right, it was one of those things like, sure, I've got my set of Pokemon I enjoy playing with, and it's like, but I want to play with different Pokemon. Like, that's why I was like, the Graveler, R.I.P. You know what I mean? When I was like, I've never really played with a Graveler in my party, you know what I mean? Like, let's do that. Or, just grabbing different Pokemon so, battles strategies are different and you're getting new and unique Pokemon from your normal thing. But it would also, I guess, be beneficial for padding out your Pokedex, right? If you already have a bunch of Pokemon and you really want to try and complete the Pokedex, some Pokemon aren't available in certain versions, and if you already have it from another game, you could transfer it over. So it sort of makes sense. And if you're super hardcore into Pokemon, it's like maybe you just grow fond of certain, like, hey, that was the Pokemon I beat, Pokemon Black with, So it's like I want to bring him to the new game. I want to use them in Sword and Shield.
Yeah, I guess my whole thing was
You were thinking people just cheesing the game.
Basically, yeah. I mean, I thought like maybe you have a connection with your digital Pokemon, I mean, whatever. But it's like my whole thing is like I love, But that's really neat, actually. I like that idea because I think that over time, it kind of gives you a reason to keep playing, like to play it over again. And to me, it's like save your Pokemon, do a whole nother game, and then keep adding to your collection. And then when you go through, it's like you can you can use them, and I don't know, that's fun.
And I wonder if Pokemon Home itself has like its own Pokedex. You know what I mean? Where it's like
Perry has subscribed to Pokemon Home.
Perry has bought every Pokemon
what a
game
stupid
available.
Thing. I don't understand why anyone would do that. Oh, yeah. That's
it
cool,
all
man.
makes sense. Now, this next bit of news is weird. All right, Pokemon
it's weird, but it also
Sleep.
makes sense.
announced for 2020 includes new hardware. So after a long day of Pokemon Go, what's the next step? It's Pokemon Sleep. Pokemon Sleep is a new game app developed by Select Button.
Did they say that?
This
What's
is
the next
Donald's
step? Pokemon Sleep?
This is Donald's news thing here. Yeah.
Gotcha.
He should be writing for him. Pokemon Sleep is a new game app developed by Select Button, which previously released Magikarp Jump. Full details about the app and how it will use sleep to affect play were not disclosed, but the game is slated to release next year. Alongside the app will be a new device developed by Nintendo, the Pokemon Go Plus. Pokemon Go Plus sign will track sleep.
Is that real?
I think so.
I see that on the actual press release. So yes, it
Pokemon
says
Plus.
Pokemon Go Plus, but the word plus and then the
symbol
plus sign.
It will track your sleep data in addition to having the functionality of Pokemon Go Plus for Pokemon Go. To celebrate, sleeping Snorlaxes can now be caught in Pokemon Go. And it's funny, I saw the picture. They were just like, "Shh, trainers, sleeping Snorlaxes have appeared in the world," and it's just a picture of just like a million sleeping Snorlaxes.
That someone those have you seen those pictures of those guys like in Japan that have like 30 cell phones
on bikes as they're driving around?
No, I mean he has they have like contraptions with like literally like.
Yeah, on the
30 cell
handles.
phones,
I've seen it where like they're on a bike and it's like
maybe on a bike. Okay, I haven't seen it on a bike. I imagine those guys were like, man, I wish I could just play this when I was sleeping.
Oh,
and the guy's like, aha!
Think of the bed they're gonna have to make with all the contraptions.
I mean, they were like, people got so addicted to this that we thought, what's the last place that they can, they're playing it 24/7 while they're conscious. So why not play it while they're unconscious?
Boom. Well, yeah, it is Pokemon Go Plus. That's so funny. So it's like the Pokemon Twitter. Use it as Pokemon Go Plus during the day. Put it next to your pillow at night to track your sleeping time. It sends the sleep information to your smartphone via Bluetooth.
I mean, it's like the
Pokemon 24/7
Fitbit,
or those things.
Whatever it's called. I don't know if it might be but yeah, it's pretty cool because it shows you how much sleep you got and stuff. And
yeah, it's
that's kind of a fun idea, right? I mean, it's very Nintendo-like actually. Like the concept is very Nintendo-like to use that as a form of gameplay.
Yeah,
how much sleep you got?
Pokemon Go,
Daddy, I want to go to sleep. See, they're geniuses.
Yeah.
Parents are gonna love this.
And then the parents be like, "Thank God they're asleep, so now I can play Pokemon Sword and Shield."
Think about it. Think about how hilarious. There are going to be kids that want to jump into bed and sleep to play Pokemon so that when they wake up,
it hatched my Pikachu.
You can't cheese it. You can't cheese this. You can't, it's going to actually see that you're, they're going to put it on their dog or something. They're going to, your heart rate has vastly changed.
He died.
You should go to the doctor.
Yeah, you died last night, but don't worry. Clefairy hatched its egg. Yeah, interesting. Well, now this last bit of news from the Pokemon, you got another quip, don't you?
No, I was laughing at yours. Okay. You're funny.
All right, Pokemon Masters new mobile project. Boo, I didn't realize it was a mobile project. Features classic trainers. Two of Nintendo's partners have been gathering for a new take on Pokemon Battle. Pokemon Masters, a new mobile game developed by Nintendo's first-party mobile partner DNA. More details about the game will be revealed next month, but it is known that the game will feature protagonists, gym leaders, and champions from all of the prior Pokemon video games. 3v3 battles were shown in gameplay video, as well as attacks with similar effects to the Z moves found in the Sun and Moon games. All right. So, next mobile Pokemon game, we'll see how it does.
Yep.
But yeah, so I guess to me the most interesting news is Detective Pikachu coming to the Switch, baby.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I will be interested to see how this Pokemon Sleep thing pans out. When more details come about what exactly it does, as far as gameplay wise goes. But
oh yeah.
But yeah, Pokemon, baby, 24/7.
Dude, that Pokemon Sleep thing is very smart.
So you're gonna buy a Pokemon Plus Plus, Pokemon Go Plus Plus?
No, but they should release as an app for the Watch. They should release that as an Apple Watch or
who knows? Maybe they will after.
Maybe they will
after they get everyone to buy the Plus Plus.
Yeah, the Plus Plus. I can't believe that's a real thing. Amazing.
Just wait till there's a new version, the new Plus Plus.
Yep.
Well, that's enough Pokemon talk because we're going to be talking about it next week as well. So, Perry, why don't you take this next bit of news? Well, actually, wait, real quick, before we jump off the Pokemon news, Detective Pikachu has surpassed $350 million globally at the box office.
Wow.
So, there you go. A lot of cabbage for the old Pokemon. And I actually believe they already have a sequel announced.
A sequel, yep.
Yeah. So, there you go. You're going to get a lot of new Detective Pikachu business moving forward. So when you're not sleeping, you could be watching Detective Pikachu.
Pikachu, Pikachu, Pikachu!
Pika-Pika! All right. Well, why don't you take this next bit now?
Okay. Star Ocean First Departure R announced. This was a game originally released on the Super Famicom, and that's the Super Nintendo in Japan land. And it was announced for Switch. Now, this was a remake of the for the PSP, and it's a remaster of the remake. So this is a remaster of the remake of the
original.
Of the original.
Yeah, they didn't really give too much information on it, so we don't know exactly if it's going to, what the remaster will entail. Like, if it's going to be like a true, we're bringing new stuff to the table, or if it's just going to be like, we sort of bumped the resolution, kind of thing. But I am interested. It's not a series that I've ever played, but you know me, I love a good RPG, a good JRPG, so it's got my attention.
Now, this next thing is really cool, but man, I wish it was a physical release, just because I think it would be cooler.
Physical.
What was that thing you said? Just a funny little story.
Just a funny little story.
That was really funny. Konami has announced the Contra Collection lineup. Of course, 4 of them were already known. That was Contra, the arcade, Super Contra, the arcade, Super C for the NES, and Contra 3, the Alien Wars for the Super NES.
That's the big boy right there.
Yeah. But now, the 4 remaining ones are Contra Hardcore for the Sega Genesis, Contra for the NES, because they had the arcade version. This is the NES version. Contra for the Famicom, which...
I bet you it's way harder than the NES version or something.
Yeah, it must be. And then Operation C for the Game Boy, which is really cool. Really cool. I'd like to play all these games. Contra's pretty cool.
There's more, Perry.
Oh, there is. Oh, man. I don't know about this next one. Probotector.
That's the best name of all time. Contra Probotector.
It sounds like something from Futurama. Like that's something like that, that Professor Farnsworth would.
Probotector is the alternate title originally given to a number of Contra games in the European region.
Of course, Europeans.
It's so good, though. Probotector. It sounds way cooler than Contra.
Probotector?
You pick up that new Probotector joint? No, but I got Super Probotector Alien Rebels for the Super Nintendo, which is also on the collection.
I guess you're right. Yep. Super Probotector. That's really amazing. Alien Rebels.
Super Probotector plus.
It protects you from being probed by the alien rebels.
Yeah, well, unless you want to.
Oh, Casey. Anyway, I think it's time for the dumb story of the day.
It's a dumb story. A really dumb story. The dumb story of the day.
Yep.
Which is a misleading term because it's really the dumb story of the week because we're a weekly podcast. Right?
That's true.
But anyway.
Well, I guess
when it came out, this was the dumb story of the day. And I already made the jingle and I'm not changing it. Okay. We have, I thought this was really, really funny. But Sonic Racing, that new Sonic Racing game came out. and I saw this thing going around that the intro movie is not on it, like on the Switch version. It's out on like PS4 and Xbox One, PC, but the intro like movie like scene is not on there.
Yeah, and I remember seeing this.
So someone reached out and
seeing it.
Yeah. Giblet head. Someone reached out and Sega actually responded and said that it was cut on the Switch so the game could fit on an 8 gigabyte card. And that's amazing.
I do appreciate their honesty.
Yeah,
like,
me
instead
too.
of just dodging it,
Yeah, like if it was Nintendo, they would have said like, "Oh well, Switch owners
the online leaderboards
wouldn't want the movie, or something." But yes, I thought that was hilarious. And so instead of just buying another card, they're like, "We could just cut." Like it's ingenious. We could just cut content from the game, like the intro. Like who cares about the intro movie anyway? They're like, "Okay, yeah, we'll do that," and then they cut it, and then that made it so they could fit on an 8 gigabyte card. I just think that's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And like I said, good old Sonic, man.
Sonic. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for the news. That was very hearty.
And you know what? Like that bit of news in whatever month, but we are 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks out from E3, and we're getting hard hitting.
Wait, when is E3?
Literally 2 weeks from the day of this recording.
Okay.
So 2 weeks from this exact moment of recording, we will know all there is to know about Animal Crossing on the Switch.
I don't know, man.
Well, maybe not all to know, but we will know a whole bunch of it. Mm-hmm. We will know about, hopefully, the next Mario Golf game for Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, that would
be amazing. 3DS successor.
We will be doing our predictions. Actually, yeah, we'll say that. So, down with the news. Now it's time for some listener mail.
Listener mail. Yeah.
So, everyone listening to this right now, email us at tnp@nintendoworldreport.com. That's TNP, Talk Nintendo Podcast, at nintendoworldreport.com. But you can just do TNP. Like these fine people, like Johnny Barlow from Australia.
He's down
our
low.
Good friend down under.
This he's just down under.
We're just going to read a snippet of one of his emails he sent. He said, "Good news, Australia has overturned the Katana Zero ban, which is amazing. They banned it because of drugs and references and stuff. The algorithm that rates games doesn't know why anyone would do drugs when they could mow a lawn, but the people who do like it like to party." Things have gotten a lot better in terms of games being banned over here in the last few years. Over here meaning under here, or over here down under. That's what I meant to say. Woo. He says woo. Then he mentioned about, because we talked about Fallout last week, hearing your Fallout 3 tale made me pour some propane on the floor for you, Perry. I talked about how I played for 45 minutes or like an hour, and then I lost my save because I didn't save. And I actually just died in the game. Anyway, he says, I lost an 85-hour New Vegas save file once and feel your pain. New Vegas was the only Fallout done by an out-of-house Bethesda developer, and Microsoft owned them now. A port would be amazing.
Yeah, I actually wonder.
I've heard people say New Vegas is really good.
Yeah, no, I know there are a lot of there is a camp that find New Vegas to be the best. But yeah, that is interesting.
I would probably be in that camp, to be honest, just because what I played after Fallout 3.
Your 45 minutes was exhilarating.
Well, no, I just mean if it's not like Fallout 3, then I probably would like it.
Well, I'm sure it's probably similar to Fallout 3. Anyway. But yeah, I wonder if Microsoft does own that developer. If that, I mean, obviously it's still Bethesda IP, right. But I wonder, obviously with legal terms and contracts and stuff, who knows how it was all sort of hashed out.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's something where it would make it more difficult for like a New Vegas remaster or HD to be released. But yeah, interesting. Now we have another email here from Brody.
Thank you, John, by the way.
Yes, thank you, sir. From Brody, which sort of touches on a topic again we discussed last week. Hey guys, been listening to the podcast for about a year now and have loved every episode since. Thank you, sir. My question
Thanks,
is
man.
about Blizzard. I know you guys touched on it last week, but I'd love to hear more of what you think. Let's say Blizzard is showing one game at E3 that'll come to the Switch. What's the game you think would make the most sense, and what's the game you want the most, regardless of it making sense for the Switch? I personally think Hearthstone would fit best on the Switch, but my most wanted game is Overwatch. Hope to hear your thoughts on it, and thanks for the opportunity, Brody. So
thanks, Brody.
Do you,
yeah, I would say I mean not to copy him, but only because this is the only one I would be interested in would be Overwatch. I guess he says which one would make the most sense. I think Overwatch. I think Overwatch fits in with Nintendo crowd very well. I mean, like ARMS and Splatoon. You know, I think it's kind of in the same kind of idea. Now, what I hate about it is the loot box aspect, you know,
but
that I've heard about.
I'm pretty sure
horrifying.
They do it right in the sense that it's purely cosmetic. Yeah, so it's not like loot boxes to win, but it's like exclusive
like
skins, which of course it's still like, I mean, loot boxes is such a big point of conversation, right? Where there's actually like senators that are trying to like make it illegal.
Well, I think it should be, and I think that I mean I don't really care that much, but in Holland, right? In
one of the
Netherlands, I believe that even a Nintendo game is going to fall under where it'll be taken off or something.
Yeah, because a lot of it is just it's essentially gambling, right? Like it's a whole big discussion that we could really dive into.
We should definitely talk about it.
Yeah, maybe post E3 would be a good time. But yeah, True. It's one of those things where, to me, it's like if it's purely cosmetic, it's like okay, but I can still see the frustration and like getting into that, you know, sort of setting up addictive habits, you know, and the, you know, giving children like, oh, I need this. Oh, I spent $20 and I didn't get what I want. Like, I want to keep on going, you know. But yeah, as far as for me, I get like Hearthstone would make a lot of sense, right? It's a card-based game. It's popular, super popular, and with the touchscreen, like, it would work really nice because essentially, like, because I've played a little Hearthstone on my phone before, right? And like, it's just touchscreen, and it's. I don't want to say it's a simple game, but like, you know, you have your cards and you're swiping up, and it seems like it would be a really good fit for the Switch. I'm honestly surprised it hasn't already happened.
Totally.
Like it just
surprised it hasn't happened, especially since Diablo's been out.
Yeah, it seems like it would be a really, it's not, like I said, not a simple thing to do, but like it's on a lot of different platforms, so it wouldn't surprise me. Overwatch would totally be, like, I would rather see Overwatch. I've played a tiny little bit of Overwatch before on the PC. I would definitely be down to try, like, get a little bit more into it if it came out on the Switch. You know, I haven't played too many of those, like, you know, character-based, like, shooters or whatever. I forget the exact, like, it's a first-person shooter. They have, I think, a turn. It's like not a MOBA, but you know, action, like hero-based shooters, I think maybe might be the categorization. Wow, I can't speak right now. But anyway,
category or genre.
Nope. Well, I guess categorization. That's the next
categorization, man.
The next case right then and there.
Grills, we got to get that on other podcasts. The categorization. The customability in this categorization is amazing.
Now, for me, I mean, in an absolute pipe dream, I mean, because I'm looking at all their franchises, right? You've got, like, a lot of them are, like, strategy, you know, RTSs, which are not going to translate to the Switch or any console game, right? So that's pretty much StarCraft and, like, the original Warcrafts. Like, those would be crappy on the Switch. They'd be crappy on PS4. You know what I mean? Like, those are PC games. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think what else. Like, I mean, a pipe dream, like, just give me a Diablo 2 port, you know, but like,
yeah,
Diablo 2 remastered, like, that's what everyone's dream is for the PC. If they ever did it, like, maybe that would come to the Switch down the road, but you also got the Lost Vikings.
I don't know what that is.
That's like a super old game that came out on I'm pretty sure it was the Super Nintendo. Let's see, The Lost Vikings. Yeah, Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo.
Okay, now you're okay.
You got Rock and Roll Racing. But yeah, so I guess for me it would be Overwatch, just because, like you said, it'd be another massively popular game people absolutely love. Putting it on the Switch, making it more accessible for a larger group of people. And you know, Nintendo and how we reported on that last week that Blizzard said they really liked working with Nintendo. So I mean, looking at their catalog, it seems like it would either be Overwatch or Hearthstone. Really would be the options, right? And who knows? Maybe you get to see both 100%. Of them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Maybe Nintendo goes full,
I think Hearthstone
Blizzard goes full on.
I would say Hearthstone would be the one, followed by. Like what I think is going to happen is Hearthstone and then Overwatch, possibly.
I guess, yeah, it would just be able, like, would the online infrastructure of Nintendo be able to handle making sure Overwatch runs well, well enough to play? Because you couldn't release a botched version because being, obviously an online shooter, like, lag is going to just completely ruin the experience, right?
Yeah, and that's what's good about shooters. Yeah, I mean, with Call of Duty and stuff on Wii U and Splatoon, which is, I think, honestly, Splatoon is amazing. Like the way that, the way it
they can make it work.
Like not only are you shooting, but you're the whole ink. I just think that, I bet they can make it work.
Yeah, I would, like I probably wouldn't get that into Hearthstone, but I would get into some Overwatch. And like Overwatch is like blown up huge in the esports realm too. So it's like there's Overwatch leagues, and I like with teams like based out of cities. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they just want to continue to get it on every single platform imaginable. So that would be my hope. Overwatch, and it really wouldn't shock me.
Nope.
But we got one more letter, don't we? Yes, thank you, Brody. We appreciate the letter.
Please send us more. Those are great questions and stuff. Last one is from our pal down south, Estuardo. He says, "Hola, Jimmys. My predictions for E3 he's talking about are, number 1, Malibu Barbie Corral 2020. Dora the Explorer, the movie for Nintendo Switch. Doki Doki Panic 2019, a.k.a. Super Mario Bros. 2. 2.
It's like and plus.
Then just kidding, but keep reading 2019.
Nope, that's it. I like that one. Thank you for the letter.
Nope, that's it. We give you one shot, Estuardo, and that's it.
You blew it.
No. His real predictions. Animal Crossing for the Switch. This will be the main game for Nintendo this E3. I really hope so. And it's looking more likely because Mario Maker has been kind of shown off a lot, and it's coming soon. And then they're doing their Pokemon Sword thing, which that's never a main E3 thing anyway. So it is looking like it's going to be
Animal Crossing, man. There's no. I would bet my life.
Are you doing it right now?
Yeah.
Are you betting your life? Okay. I'm not betting my life.
That is how confident I am. Put it in the books.
That it's going to be the main game for Nintendo?
Yep.
You think so?
Yeah, what else is there, dude?
The thing is, just Animal Crossing isn't really a main game type game.
I don't know, man. It's like...
No, I'm just saying, it's not like a big multiplayer game.
I don't think it's going to be...
It's not like Zelda, it's not like Mario...
It's not going to be like... Yeah, it's not going to be where that is the only game shown. Like, of course, there's going to be other stuff there. But, like, the booth... It's going to have big, beautiful Animal Crossing trees around.
I hope so.
My life.
Okay, I'm not betting, but I hope that you're correct. And for goodness sake, I'm not going to kill you.
Well, you're not going to kill me because I'm right.
I'm not going to kill you. Estuardo's going to kill you.
Hey, yeah, if he wants to fly up here, we got to hang out before he kills me, though.
Okay.
But I'm not going to be wrong.
Next up, he says, coincidentally enough, Overwatch for the Switch with Nintendo skins. That makes sense.
I could see it. I don't know. Nintendo skins would be interesting. I mean, I know they did it with Diablo, but like Overwatch being such a multi-platform thing, I mean, I guess it would be a good way to just be, hey, I'm playing on the Switch. Come get me.
And I'm playing as Fox McCloud.
Yeah, I just pictured like little Mario Cap. Little Cappy.
Now this next one, PUBG Mobile Lite Edition. Mobile/Lite Edition for the Switch. I
can see it.
I know Estuardo was really big with playing PUBG. I've never played it before, but I could totally see it. For sure.
I think if they're gonna do it, it would be this year. Otherwise, I don't see it happening. You know, especially since
remember, PUBG is one of the top selling games of all time.
Yeah, but I feel like from other podcasts I listen to and stuff, it just seems like it is like it's still Fortnite is still the battle royale. Like I know PUBG definitely still has its fan base, right? But it's like there's a new king in town, you know, and it's Fortnite.
Oh yeah, for sure. It goes on to say Bayonetta 3 playable. That would be cool.
I hope so, man. I hope
Metroid Prime Trilogy. Oh baby. Yes, and you know, it'd be really cool if they could do some remastering of the second one, make it a little bit more cohesive.
A little more cohesive.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not making that jingle. I'm not going to be using that anytime.
Let me see your cohesiveness.
Now here we go. F-Zero 2020.
You
this would
dirty
be
dog.
F-Zero starring Barbara Walters. That would be awesome. Nintendo Ubisoft collaboration, but not Mario Cross Rabbids 2.
Give me Steep.
I mean, yeah. Waluigi's Steep?
Oh, where'd you go?
What? Yeah, I know. Even though
I think did they officially...
yeah, no, they did. They officially can't. Remember, we talked about it on the podcast.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, think about it. We've had Mario and Rabbids. They've had Star Fox and Starlink, you know. So I don't know what would it be? Assassin's Creed. I'm telling you, Assassin's Creed and Zelda. Assassin's Creed, Sheik.
But Zelda doesn't need the help, you know. I don't know,
dude. But wouldn't that be sweet though? Sheik, like a game where you play and you infiltrate the what's the Sheikah tribe? But I guess what's the Ganon's from? I can't remember that.
The Gerudo.
Yeah, like imagine like infiltrating them. Anyway, that'd be sweet. And last but not least, Microsoft and Nintendo collaboration, but not Halo, possibly Gears of War or new multiplayer IP.
That would be interesting. Gears of War would be bonkers. I don't know about all that. I mean, I would be down with it.
We know what it would be called, right?
What's up?
We know what it would be called.
What's that?
Gears of Wario.
Could you imagine it's just Wario with the classic?
He doesn't even have a gun. He just goes around and bites people.
I don't know. I would love to see him wielding the gun with the saw at the end.
Dude, with the and on a motorcycle.
And when he puts it into people, it's not blood that spews out; it's just coins.
Mm-hmm. This is scary.
Yeah, I could see a Microsoft Nintendo another sort of bit of collaboration coming out, but I don't know if it would be like a Halo or Gears of War. I know Estuardo says not Halo, but it would be insane if they put Halo out on the Switch.
I'm thinking like Banjo 3,
yeah, it's like they could put like Retro Replay. To me, seems like it would be like something that would make a lot of sense because
not Retro Replay, Rare
Replay, excuse me. Because you know what I mean. Like it's obviously has a base with Nintendo already, you know, that has those roots, so that it would make sense. But yeah, good predictions. I'm looking for. Hopefully, a bunch of them come true. Again, send in your predictions to be read out. Next week is our prediction show, and we're gonna have
next week. Send them now.
Yep, send them now. And good old Jordan's gonna join us for the prediction show. We'll have our predictions. We're gonna be making a bet. And we're going to have a nice little punishment for the loser. But yeah, if you send in your predictions, we will read some of them off on the air. So please send those in to TNP@Nintendo World Report. And yeah, I think...
Please, right now, send us an email. It's fun.
I think it's the time for the return of the old Craigslist Roundup.
Craigslist Roundup.
I I know, and we got a doozy this week, dude. A doozy, because we have not only one, but 2 GameCube bundles.
Not one, but 2. So you're saying it's a plus?
It's a plus. Yes, it's the GameCube plus.
Craigslist Roundup plus.
So my first GameCube bundle, it was I saw it online. It was a GameCube. It came with like 7 games. One of them being Mario Party 7, which I've never have had. It goes for a pretty penny. It's probably like $40, like only disc. You know, it's just one of those games. And Metroid Prime, which isn't that expensive, but it's a great game. One of my favorite games of all time. And then like a bunch of other ones, including like Aggressive Inline, and which is like a
and the Minority Report
game. And no Minority Report. There was a Need for Speed game too, and then like some other like licensed games. Anyway, I got it because of the Mario Party 7, and it was an Indigo GameCube.
Oh, the most
and I don't have
beautiful
one of those.
Game. Yeah, I have a black and a silver, and it's like I want an Indigo, baby.
I know, and that's why exactly, because I was stupid back then. I didn't realize that Indigo's the coolest. Now, I saw this weird, really weird controller in the picture, and I was like, I don't know what this is. I'll just see what it is. But it looks like it was in the picture, it looked like it was an Indigo controller and a silver controller
combo or something,
and with a spice orange plug-in. And I took a picture, and Justin Berube said that someone took a spice orange controller and replaced the front of it with like an Indigo, or I can't remember what it looks like now, but yeah, Indigo, and the back of it with like a black one or a silver. So like it's like someone had 3 controllers and they mixed them all up. Really weird.
Interesting.
Anyway, and then I didn't see this till I got home, but the front of it, apparently this console belonged to a Kayla, because she wrote on a Sharpie on the front of it, Kayla.
Oh, gosh.
I guess it was Kayla's GameCube.
That dang Kayla, okay. Ruining everything.
Easy. No, they can come off easy. But yeah, so I paid $70 for this, which isn't like a crazy good deal. But, I mean, it's a good deal, because I could,
if you could, you could flip, yeah.
Oh, easy, yeah. But the second GameCube bundle, oh baby, let's get to this one. This one came like the same day, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, why are people getting like GameCube stuff?
International Get Rid of Your GameCube Day.
I like that day.
Should we make a jingle?
So I saw it. Yeah. No. You can make one if you want. So this one is, I saw it, and it was like I saw. It wasn't a GameCube, but it was GameCube games and like some controllers. And I saw Wind Waker, and I saw that GameCube collector's disc. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
With the 4 games. I've never had that one, and I don't have a case for Wind Waker. And I saw that, and I was like, oh baby! And I saw it was $50, and it had every Splinter Cell game. On the GameCube, which I have them, but it's always good to have another set, and they're good gifts or whatever. And then every Need for Speed game also. Need for Speed, crazy. And then some other licensed games. And then, so after I had said I'd like to get it, because I jumped on it, because I know people were gonna, and it came with actually the Wind Waker strategy guides came with it too, strategy guide. And then I saw,
now you can finally beat the game, Perry.
Well, this was great. Yeah, this is great. I looked on the picture, and I clicked on the picture, and I didn't even realize it. But on the right side, there's Twilight Princess with the Twilight Princess strategy guide, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this was after I had already offered money for it. So I was like, oh baby, and I got it, and I got this big juicy pile of games with a really nice GameCube controller, like a nice analog stick and everything, and a brand new controller in its packaging. It's not an official one, but it was. It's actually. I was
going to say
nice
that
looking,
would probably go for a bunch of money.
It wasn't like a cheap game. It wasn't like a cheap one. It felt like a GameCube, like it looks like. Anyway, so guess how much I paid for it?
Didn't you say $50?
I said $50. Yes, it's $50. I got it for $50.
I should have just guessed $50.
Yeah, you should have. Yeah, so the collector's edition alone is $50. So I'm happy with this. And
rolling
I love GameCube. I'm glad I have it.
Rolling into GameCube.
Dude, those three together, because I have the Master Quest Ocarina of Time disc, and its game. I have that, so I have all the Zelda collections now. Now I just have to get Four Swords Adventures. I do not have that.
It's so funny, man. I swear, your Craigslist has all the dope prices. Then I look at mine, and it's like, oh, you want a 3DS? How about $175? But I just go buy a new one for that price. But yeah, nothing wrong with that, man. Some nice finds. Some nice finds.
I thought it was fun. So anyway, thank you everyone for listening to the Talk Nintendo podcast. This is episode 141. And of course, we're going to make the plug again. Please check out our Patreon. It's going to be officially launching on this Sunday, on June 1st. And it's going to have the launch of our very first Patreon exclusive episode, number 1, with our good friend Alex Kalafi.
Woo! Can you believe it?
And we're going to talk about our top 5 GameCube games.
I wonder where that topic came from.
I know.
Yeah.
It's almost like I had GameCube on the brain.
Yep. Yeah, we recorded that the other day, and it turned out to be a very nice little episode, and I think you all will enjoy it. And for, like you said, $1, you get to access to that. And as we continue to compile the Patreon episodes, that backlog will continue to grow, obviously, so that $1 will unlock all of that. Now, Patreon aside, I also want to plug a little video I did over on Nintendo World Report TV, the history of Resident Evil and Nintendo.
Yes.
Yeah,
this is an amazing video.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, cool little video. Obviously, I did the Resident Evil 0 review, and with all the Resident Evils coming out, I figured what better time to look back and see the history of Resident Evil on Nintendo consoles, because generally you sort of, Resident Evil is sort of synonymous with PlayStation, right? Back in the day, you had the first 3 numbered entries were out on the PlayStation originally. But, as far back as a canceled Game Boy Color Resident Evil port and Resident Evil 2 on N64, so it's been on Nintendo systems.
Dude, that's amazing. That Game Boy Color game, it just looks ridiculous.
Oh, well, you can. That's me playing that game, by the way. It's
really?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to find a ROM. It's not a completed game, so there's some glitches and stuff. But yeah, you can pretty easily find an emulator with that game. But yeah, it's like an 11-minute video, and it goes over the history of all the Resident Evils on Nintendo. And yeah, it's I had fun making it, and I think it turned out pretty good. So,
dude, it's amazing. Everyone go check it out at NWR TV.
Boom. And we also have some reviews that I did up there recently too, and of course we got tons of Super Mario Maker 2 content that just went up as well, so definitely want to check out our YouTube there for all that great content. But on that note, I believe you can find us we can find us on Twitter, Perry.
Talk Nintendo Pod, that's Talk Nintendo
POD.
That's right. And you can find us on Instagram at Talk Nintendo Podcast.
Boom.
You can see some behind-the-scenes stuff there, of course. And of course, once again, check out our Patreon. $1 gets you all the exclusive episodes. Skiddly boosh. And if you want to give more, you get even more stuff.
And all those links right there in the description. So nice and easy. And don't forget, you can win
Casey,
a nice.
For making it so easy.
Yep, you can win a nice free game this month or week.
That dog, yeah, this week, little friends, dogs and cats.
Ruff, ruff, meow, meow. And on that note, we'll see you next week. Alrighty, we are back, and it is that time once again for the old new... The game an ape? The game is not an ape, no.
Super Nintendo game. Is this published by published by Nintendo?
I believe so. Let me do the old double check.
Checking to see if Donkey Kong Country was published by Nintendo. I think that's cheating, Casey. I think that's cheating, and you're never going to get away with that ever again. Mark my words. Check out our review on NW Poor. Alexander.
NW Poor?
He what?
You sound like you said NW Poor.
Did I say that?
We're like...
Check out our review on NW Poor.
You almost said Roboto is a cat.